why so many families think about this decision for years, and what quietly gets lost in the waiting. Most downsizing decisions don't begin with urgency, they begin with postponement. Not because people are careless or uninformed, but because downsizing is rarely about where to move next. It's about unwinding years of life, responsibility, and emotion without making the wrong move. So the decision lingers, months turn into years. The conversation resurfaces every so often, after another repair, a winter storm, a family discussion, or a quiet realization that the house feels heavier than it used to. And then it gets deferred again. The quiet exhaustion of thinking about it. For many homeowners, and for family members involved in the decision, downsizing becomes a background task that never quite leaves the mind. It shows up as a home that slowly feels like work, b.repairs that get postponed because we might not be here much longer anyway, c.family members unsure when to step in or step back. Sense that the decision is getting harder, not easier. This isn't indecision, it's decision fatigue. Over time, not deciding quietly becomes a decision of its own, one that reduces flexibility, narrows options, and shifts control to future constraints rather than personal choice. Deferred maintenance is rarely the real problem. When people talk about downsizing, they often point to maintenance. The house is just too much now. But maintenance is usually a symptom, not the cause. What's really happening is that the home slowly shifts from being a source of comfort to a source of mental load. Each deferred repair becomes another reminder that something needs to change, just not today. Over time, avoidance compounds. 1. Small issues become larger ones. 2. Choices narrow. 3. Flexibility quietly disappears. In many estate situations, waiting doesn't remove the decision. It simply transfers it to family members at a time when clarity is hardest to create. The financial cost people rarely talk about. This isn't about predicting markets or finding the perfect moment. The real financial cost of waiting is quieter. 1. Equity that remains underutilized. 2. Carrying costs that continue without intention. 3. Fewer future options, not because prices changed, but because energy and tolerance did. What's often lost isn't money, it's optionality. And once optionality shrinks, decisions feel heavier, not lighter. Many people frame downsizing as a single question: is now the right time? In practice, the more useful question is, what needs to happen first? Downsizing works best when it's approached as sequencing, not urgency. A. Clarifying lifestyle priorities. B. Understanding trade-offs. C. Simplifying decisions before action is required. That's why the first step is rarely selling, and it's rarely moving. The first step is clarity. This is the philosophy behind the downsizing roadmap I outline on my website, helping people think through decisions calmly and in the right order, long before pressure or deadlines enter the picture. For many, just having a structured way to think reduces the mental weight immediately. You can see how I approach this here. www.michaeltudorie.com/approach, making the trade-offs visible. One reason downsizing decisions linger is that people avoid quantifying trade-offs. They feel permanent when they're still theoretical. Some people find it helpful to take the questions out of their head and put them on paper. Tools like a downsizing calculator can be useful, not as an answer, but as a way to make trade-offs visible without forcing a decision. One example some people explore privately is this downsizing calculator. The value isn't the number it produces. It's what becomes clearer once uncertainty is replaced with visibility. If you've been thinking about downsizing for months or even years, there's nothing wrong with that. This is a significant life decision, and it deserves to be handled with care. Often, the first real relief doesn't come from deciding. It comes from saying the decision out loud without committing to anything. A calm, informed conversation without timelines, pressure, or expectations can lift more weight than people expect, even if the answer remains "not yet." If you'd like to talk through a downsizing roadmap, whether you're the homeowner or a family member involved, I'm always happy to have that conversation. No urgency, no obligation, just clarity.